Good afternoon. I want to take a moment to let y'all know a little bit about what's coming in the next year. This is something we discussed on Sunday at church, and you probably received one of these things in the mail. I take no credit for how pretty this is this year. Megan did an amazing job. Megan Moreland. I did not. Yeah, she's really good at this. And so they're really just two pertinent things I need to make sure you understand about this. First, the only thing we're really adding is we're adding in two places. We're having our fish fry on September 24th, our opportunity to invite our friends to come have a good time, so that we can then invite them to Christmas and Easter and other events, and they see the church as a place that's warm and welcoming. And we're also adding another youth group. We're going from two youth groups. 2 years ago, we had one youth group. Last year, we had two youth groups, younger and older. And this year, we're going to elementary, junior high, and high school, which is wonderful. And I'm deeply thankful to people who are stepping up to help make that possible. So that's what we're adding. The rest of the year looks pretty similar. We're going to have story time in February. We're going to have bell choir, so we're having some music. We'll have cookies and carols in December. We'll have corned beef because corned beef. Why? How could we not? So we have the ladies will continue to quilt and craft downstairs, and so all those details are in here. So please take a look and put this on the calendar. The detail I want to, the other second detail I want to make sure to share with you is there a really, I think, important and wise discussion we had as we were sort of roughing this out. We talked about what didn't work in previous years. We did a hot dogs up in the North Apartments. We did some donuts, went door to door with donuts, and we've tried some things. We took them out because they weren't getting us what we were hoping for. We were hoping to be able to see some people show up based upon that type of invitation. And I asked, do we want to put something in their place? And the question was brought up: is it that we need to do more, or that we need to use what we have and learn how better to use it? And I think that's where we're at. We agreed upon that. The folks who were having that discussion, um, we have a very live, wonderful, full church here. The question is not what do we need to do. The question is how do we need to use it. And the challenge is that what used to work, if you build it, they will come type of theory of church. It was the solution for yesterday, but that solution doesn't work anymore. I came across this really impressive phrase: yesterday's solutions are today's problems. And yesterday's solution was a sort of if you build it, if you plan it, if you schedule it, they will come theory of church. And it worked. It was a solution for the last generation. And it's not a solution anymore. Now it's a problem. We have to figure out, how do we invite people in a way that is gracious and real? Because there are sort of two extremes of this. There's the sort of like heavy leaning, sort of aggressive, like you need to get to church, almost like guilt trip people into church, and we're not going to do that. That's not in our DNA. That's not how we roll. The other extreme is a sort of we'll go out and serve, and people know where we're from, and they'll show up if they want to see more. And that's where we kind of lean historically, traditionally, as Methodists. And what I'm seeing, both sides of this need sort of trying to find a center, so that people who have traditions, churches that have leaned really hard on people, are sort of trying to figure out how to reel it in and change how they approach it. And for us, the challenge is how do we be a little bit more forward, but still be very gracious. Like what we offer here, it's a gift, and it needs to be offered as a gift and received as a gift. And so there aren't any answers already figured out on how to do this. This is something that we need to look at this year, and that was what the fruit of that discussion was. That was just very wise. We need to figure out how we are going to be involved in the community in a way that is gracious and is more than if they're interested, they'll come. That takes the next step and says, we really would like you to be part of us because we believe the decision to follow Jesus is the most important decision a person can make. Right? How do we do that? How do we say that How do we engage with people in that way? We got to figure that out. So I obviously have some learning to do as well, and figuring, and I'm open to ideas or suggestions. As always, it continues to be an honor to serve as your pastor here in Shelbina, and I appreciate the continued support of the church and the board and all of y'all. I'm glad to be here. It's really fun, and I'm looking forward to what we figure out next.